911.
I need the cops here at Hartford Distributors right away, shooting.
What's going on? Who got
Somebody
shot?
got shot. I got shot.
Okay, I need some information, sir. Who got shot?
We need the cops. Omar Thornton's shooting people. I just got shot.
Okay, I need to know what his name is.
His name is Omar Thornton. He's a black guy. Get the cops here right away, please.
Sir, stay on the line with me. My partner's
all over the place.
Okay. How many people got shot?
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. And you're shot where?
In my head.
You're shot in the head?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
My name is Steve Hollander.
Okay. What's that medical help? Who's the person shooting people again?
His name is Omar Thornton. He's a black guy. He's wearing shorts.
Okay, black man, shorts. Anything else? What kind of gun?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
You didn't see it. And where are you in the building, sir?
I'm hiding in an office.
Hiding where?
In an office. People are running all over the place.
I don't think you're going to get there. I don't know. Over there?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Holy shit.
Easy not to think about it if it hasn't happened in your city, but across America, more and more people are thinking about the state of the roads and bridges and waterways they use every day. Problems with infrastructure can inconvenience your commute, or in some cases, it can kill you. And it continues to fall apart in cities large and small. RT correspondent Christine Frizzau has the story.
What goes up must come down. A simple law of gravity, and it seems to be what is happening in America.
The Americans seem to think that the party's going to last forever and the holiday goes on, and they don't really see the error of certain things. I mean, Thomas Rainsford Lounsbury was an educator in the 19th century, and he said, "It never ceases to surprise me at the infinite capacity of the human mind to resist the introduction of useful knowledge." And that's what it is. People know better. People sense better. But they go against it. They just think there are no consequences.
It kills me forever.
It's a steady downhill slide. You know, this country is really finished. I mean, it really is technically finished. It's just a matter of playing out the end game. Well, that's true. It's true. You can see it. You can smell it. Anyone who can't see it or smell it doesn't understand. Yeah. There's a medical term that they use in hospitals when a person has no future left on this planet, they can't be helped anymore, and they put it on the chart, CTD, circling the drain. And that's what we're doing. We're slowly circling the drain, and the circles get smaller and they get faster.
Shalom, and welcome to another installment of GMS, Elders of GMS, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Today is going to be a GMS News and Prophecies dated August 3rd, believe it or not, 2013. And we're just going to go with the spirit, so whatever Elder Gabar or Elder Ramlab has to bring out, just bring it on out.
All right, this is from the magazine, the Philadelphia Trumpet, which, we go into every once in a while. There's an article here called Iran, and then number 2 is Afghanistan. So I'm going to read this article. It says, Underestimating Europe. Meeting from May 31st to June 2nd between the Iranian government and Taliban leaders highlight the fight for control in the Hindu Kush, and how all eyes are distracted from the most dangerous player in the region. While Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan fight to sway the Taliban in order to shore up their borders and counter U.S. influence, they underestimate the European presence. Germany understands what will happen as U.S. power wanes. It is determined not to allow its own design on the Middle East to be undermined. Iran is so focused on its own ambitions, it fails to see that it is already caught in the German whirlwind. See Gerald Fleury's article in last month's Trumpet edition. So the main key here is these European countries and these Arab countries. It says that it actually says that Germany understands what will happen as U.S. power wanes, because that's what's happening right now. You know, the power of the U.S. is waning. You know, it's starting to decrease, and as the U.S. power decreases in the world, that means their status starts to fall. You know, and other nations get up in their stead. That's what happened to those ancient empires. There was a point where the climax of that particular kingdom was at its highest peak, and all nations around it would bow down and obey it. But now, as that power started to fall, those other nations were looking for a foothold to get up in there so that they could become the next rulers. That's what happened with the Assyrians. That's what happened with the Babylonians. That's what happened with the Middle Persian Empire, with the Greeks, the Romans, so on and so forth. You know, so now we're at the point now where America's power is starting to wane. They're spread out just like the Roman Empire was spread out. They have bases in over 800 countries, or 800 to 1,000 countries in the world, you know. And now there's something coming up. I just heard recently that America is supposed to be closing down a lot of its U.S. embassies around the world. I don't know if that's going to be just a temporary thing.
Yeah, because a terrorist threat around the world. So all the embassies of the U.S. Closing down temporarily.
Okay, so, you know, like on all levels, you're starting to see the influence of this American society falling, you know, because that's what we're looking for. That's what we look for, certain things in the news dealing with the power of America slipping, you know, the microchip, situations with Iran, you know, situations with these different wars that are happening, you know, whether it be with one country, two countries, or four countries, or whatever the case may be, because that's what's going to bring the end closer. You know, and as all these prophecies happen, the end comes closer and closer. You know, that's why the Lord said this. You know, the Matthew the 24th chapter is a key chapter, you know, to knowing about these end times. You know, that's why from time to time we go to it and bring that out. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Because see, back then the disciples, they understood that the Roman Empire was only ruling temporarily. And they knew that when Yahushua came back, that was it for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was going to be destroyed. But what they thought that it was going to happen during their time. But it didn't happen during their time. It was supposed to happen far off, which we're in that time right now. So they asked him about the end of the world. Now, when you look up that word world in the Greek, the word is eon, which is an uninterrupted rule. All right. But in the case of the Roman Empire was interrupted for a period of 1,000 years. Now America, which is the final leg of that Roman Empire, is in power once again. So it fell, but it wasn't totally destroyed. The remnants of it was still there. So now this so-called American Empire, which is nothing but the Roman Empire all over again, built up, you know, and now it's time for it to come down. So these are the signs that the Lord said to look for when this situation happens, because the main thing we're looking for is for Yahushua to come back for what? To set the kingdom back up and bring Esau and the other nations down and set us back up into power with himself. So it says, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And you see that happen a lot. You know, you see these different pastors, these different preachers, you know, these televangelists. Then you got these guys that call themselves Israelites, like Nate, General Gehenna, Bubble Eye Blackfish, Comfy, and all these other guys, all these other clowns. Basically, they're saying that they're the anointed. They're the chosen ones that were set up to bring forth the gospel, but they're not, because they're distorting and corrupting the gospel, right? So that's part of the signs that to let us know that we were coming, to the end of the world. It says, it says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. Why? Because these things have to happen. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. That's why during World War I, people probably back then thought that was the end of the world, because it was a major war between all different types of nations, the Axis powers and the Allied powers, and they were fighting this war, and everybody thought back then that was the end of the world. But then that died down. Then other wars and skirmishes broke out here and there. And then what happened? World War II came about. So yeah, this got to be the end of the world here. So then World War II came about. Then that died down. And then, there was certain skirmishes and conflicts and certain other wars that broke out from that point until now. But now we're coming into what? To World War III. Because World War III is going to be the war to end all wars, because all those other wars were fought basically with tanks. They were fought with planes. They were fought with machine guns, grenades, rocket launchers. And World War II basically ended when around the time when America dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. At that point is when that pretty much was destroyed. So that was basically that war, and that incident was the beginning of using these nuclear weapons, and that's what's going to bring the end. That's why World War III, which is going to be a war fought with nuclear fire, is going to be the end and the destruction of this place. That's what's going to make this war or this world end. Why? Because all those other wars that were fought weren't fought like that. Matter of fact, before I read that other scripture I have, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9. Okay, Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. And all you have to do is watch movies like 300 and those different movies that men would fight their wars on the ground, with armor and all that, swords. It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So what's that burning and fuel of fire? The thermonuclear destruction. That's what's going to end all these different wars.
They give me Habakkuk 2 verse 3. I wanted to start down at 16, but I kept going up verses and verses and verses. I really want to read the whole thing, but I'm going to go right to the 3rd verse and read down into the 16th verse. Because this is a build-up. See, people don't see what's going on. I run into people every day, and they have no clue as to what's going on. Because, number one, they don't watch the news all day long. We watch the news all day long. We watch CNN, which is bullshit, but they give you breaking news, international news sometimes. We watch the BBC, we watch Euro News, Russia Today.